Following program is sponsored by PokerStars.net.
For me, it started small.
It started small.
From pool halls in Toronto to poker rooms in Las Vegas.
It's given me a life
I never could have dreamed.
The game has taken me around the world. I've seen it all.
From the Windy City to Sin City.
This game can make you a legend.
This game can make you a champion.
It may have started small.
It may have started
But now, it's the big game.
This is the next generation.
It doesn't get
any bigger than this.
This is the PokerStars.net Big Game.
Hello and welcome to the Big Game from Las Vegas, Nevada, alongside Joe Stapleton. I'm Scott Huff, and tonight there's almost $800,000 in cash on the table as some of the top players in the world have come to battle here in our state-of-the-art poker room.
In C2 is Canada's leading non-liquor, non-maple syrup export, Daniel Negreanu. Last week, Daniel finished with $194K, which explains his stack.
Phil Locke's got the big game on lockdown. Last season, he won over $290,000. He's starting off the week with 1,000 Benjamins.
Under that beard is 24-year-old Bryn Kenny, and his decision to buy in for $200,000 is a clear signal that he's a baller and a shot caller.
Randy Liu is known as the fastest online player in the world. We'll see if he slows down under the lights. He's in for the traditional $100K.
Entrepreneur Rick Solomon is a Hollywood home game legend. He's got a reputation as an action player. Tonight he's in for $100,000.
And our final player at the table is 24-year-old Courtney G from British Columbia. She's been staked $100,000 to play, and she's hoping to win enough profit to start her life as a professional poker player. She's standing by with Amanda Leatherman.
Courtney, this is your dream. You want to be a professional poker player, just like these guys sitting at the table, right? What's going through your head right now?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm mostly extremely excited. I'm amazed that I have this wonderful opportunity, and I can't believe I'm here.
The most exciting part for me is that you're tiny, just like I am. Does that reflect at all at the poker table?
I don't think that my size reflects my play or vice versa. I think that a lot of time people are surprised by the way that I play.
Awesome.
And they don't expect me to play the way I do, considering I'm so small.
I'm pulling for you. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Here's another look at the loose cannon rules. Each cannon is staked $100,000 to play. They keep all winnings above the initial $100K. And the loose cannon who's won the most money at season's end earns a North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
Right now, the leading loose cannon to beat is Gonzalez Cannon. Yes, that's his real name, and yes, he set the bar high at over $155K. Scott, I was thinking we'd save money on graphics and just call all the cannons Cannon, kind of like how you call the interns intern.
I'm more loose than the cannon.
Rick Solomon plays in a massive Hollywood home game that sometimes plays bigger than this one.
Action starts on the cannon. Pocket fives folds. 7-9 of spades for Daniel.
Certainly a tight fold for the loose cannon on the first hand.
And Daniel raises to 1,200. Queen Jack for lock quickly calls. Kenny's out.
Call.
And Lou calls 1,000 with ace-8 offsuit. Ace-4 for Rick Solomon.
Looks like he's going to be in anyway.
Yeah, it was like
calls.
About 2% you were going to fold there. I can't wait to see your stats at the end of the show. It's going to be like 100% for so many numbers.
Four-way action to the flop. Deuce, ace, jack. Lou and Solomon both pair their aces.
Four-way action on the first hand. I think I'm going to like this table.
And Lou bets 2,500.
Lou's leading out with a donk bet, not wanting to give a free card on a wet board.
Solomon calls. Negreanu's out.
It's totally cool when the pros do it, by the way.
Call.
And lock calls.
Phil knows Randy doesn't necessarily need to have an ace to bet this flop.
Turns the jack of spades, and Locke's made trips.
Check.
Lou checks. Solomon checks.
How much is in there, sir? Because I got a feeling I might make a bet.
Our game is no limit post-flop, so the dealer is not allowed to tell Locke how much is in the pot.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, something. I'm going to bet 11,200.
Polarizing bet and a polarizing spot.
Lou lays it down.
He does that quickly.
Muffin Man, I know you're folding. I could tell.
Solomon folds, and Phil wins a pot worth $24,000. So as Phil takes down the first pot of the week, let's go over the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is pot limit and becomes no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a 100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. And every player begins with at least 100K, but can rebuy for up to 500,000.
The big rule change this season is that a winning loose cannon cannot come back after they've played their week's 150 hands.
Action's going to start here back on Phil Lock. King 4 spades for Phil. Raises. Kenny's out.
Now Phil's min raising under the gun. This should be an action week.
Ace 3 for Randy Lou.
Raise.
3 bets to 2,700.
Lou not respecting the min raise from Phil Lock.
Solomon's out over to the cannon, 6-7 offsuit. Lays it down. Back on Daniel, Ace 10.
Negranu's out of position. Daniel's played a lot with Randy Lou online, who goes by the name Nano Noko. He's a gifted poker player, but he's not used to playing live, and he's not used to playing this big. Let's see if Daniel has the advantage here. This isn't a hand you really want to call with out of position, but it's tough to put in a 4th bet with Ace 10.
Well, we get one. 4 bets. We've got 4 bets to 7,500.
He raised it up. Well, you might have saved me a little money.
Phil Lock folds.
25.
I played with you online. I know your tricks.
Lose out.
You know too much. You know too much.
Oh, you had the 10.
I had the 10.
I had the 4.
You had the 4?
So Daniel shows a 10 and wins a pot without seeing a flop.
That 3-bet stuff. I know what's up. Huh? See that?
I like it.
What's up?
Yeah. Keep him in line. I like it.
Keep him in line from over here. That's how I do.
I want to readjust. Got to readjust now.
Now, yeah, you got to stop 3-betting completely. It's no longer profitable.
That's one way to try to set the tone early, but I'm not sure that statement's entirely accurate.
Action will start on Bryn Kenny, 7-4, and he folds. Queen 6 for Lou, out. Solomon's out. Over to the cannon, Ace 9 of hearts.
Time for a button raise.
I'll raise 1,200.
That's the way to do it.
She raises to 1,200. Ace 6 for Daniel, out. Lock calls.
Courtney's been told she has a very intimidating giggle.
Flop is 5, 9, 8, 2 diamonds. Cannon flops top pair, Phil with nada. But Phil bets it, 1,500.
Lock's trying to test her mettle with this donk bet. She does look like she wants to fold.
I'll call.
But she calls.
Not what Phil wanted or expected to hear, I bet.
Deuce of clubs on the turn. And maybe Phil's given up. He checks.
Perfect spot for a value bet.
3,500.
G bets 3,500.
Oh. You were supposed to just fold when I bet the flop.
Sorry. Next time, I forgot. You didn't tell me.
Folds.
Eat some of that.
That hurt.
How you like them apples?
That hurt.
I love when the cannons win. It's fun.
So Courtney breaks the ice with an almost $10,000 pot.
Especially when you watch somebody trying to take advantage.
I don't care when I lose. I just care when I get outplayed. So I hope that was just a straight up I was beat kind of thing.
That she had top set and...
That would be sweet if she had a top set.
Phil Lock should know better. There's a 1 commercial break grace period before you're allowed to straight up try to rob the loose cannon.
We're coming right back with more big time action. Don't go away.
If I was a loose cannon.
If I was the loose cannon?
If I was a loose cannon, I would stake the 100 grand.
I think the right strategy, it's pretty obvious, which is if you start getting behind, then you have nothing to lose and you have to find spots to build pots and gamble. So if I had 30 hands left to go and I was stuck 30K, I'd probably play every hand.
You have to get in action. You have to try to build it up. You have 100,000 in front of you. You don't want to make a little bit. You want to go for a nice payday. And depending on how far into the day you are, what you're going to do and what you should do.
I would definitely play as loose as I can and try to build a lead as quickly as I can, because if you wait too late, you might not get any opportunities anymore as the number of hands dwindle.
The term loose cannon means you should be in there gambling. Especially in the early stages, I think if you flop a big draw, just the math is on your side. If you have any kind of a hand on the flop and you put the pressure on, either A, they're going to fold because they can't handle the heat, or B, you get there and you hit your draw. So it's really kind of a win-win situation. If I was loose cannon, I'd love it. I think it'd be the most fun ever.
Was it just me, or did all that sound exactly like how those guys play anyway?
Welcome back to the big game where it sounds like some of the pros have cannon envy. Right now, aspiring poker pro Courtney G is living the dream of being a loose cannon.
Yes, it can be a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare.
Apparently, it's only a 1 commercial break grace period on Beyonce references. Action folds around to Randy Lou.
Ace tray or the ashtray didn't work out so well for Randy last time.
14.
He's going to raise it to 1,400.
By the way, that's not really the ashtray. I was just blowing smoke.
Nice one, Joe. Over to the cannon. Queen 8. And Randy Lou's going to win the pot without a fight.
Is that 14 that was?
Yeah. Are you trying to calculate my bet sizing or
No,
something?
I'm figuring it everything. I have like like a HUD in my head that I'm keeping track of what you've done. Your 3-bet percentage is relatively high. Late position, you're playing a lot of pots. Steal percentage is big.
That's some good info. Can you give me your stats too?
So far, my 4-bet percentage is pretty solid.
Well, Joe Daniel seems to have a pretty good line on Nano Noko. What do we know about him?
Well, the smiling boy in his Sunday best goes online by Nano Noko. He's also known as one of the fastest players in the world. He plays 24 screens simultaneously, which means he can play 24 hours of poker in just 1 hour. So he basically invented time travel.
Well, he's also fast live and quickly down $6,600.
To be honest, playing only one table might be tough for Nano there. Could be he's a little bored and why he's been a little spewy already. Plus, he might not be all that comfortable without having fast access to Can I Has a Cheeseburger.
Action on Bryn Kenny, 5-4 suited, folds.
14.
Dolly Parton for Lou.
Someone needs a 3-bet for me to play.
Raises to 1,400.
Someone.
Told you Lou might be a little bored.
Do it.
Solomon folds. The cannon with Doyle Brunson.
You're going to have to be the hero this hand.
Folds. Queen 10 for Daniel.
You know you want to play some hands.
Huh?
You know you want to play some hands.
I do. I want to play some hands with you.
Calls.
Let's do it.
I suspect Randy's got a plan for this hand.
Now we're heads up again, and I'm going to check in the dark. Old school.
Daniel's dark checked. King 3-3.
Did you check?
I check in the dark, yeah.
All right.
That's verbal.
I'm not. I can't do that online, so
Right,
it's a little weird. 2,000.
Lou bets 2,000.
Randy keeping the lead.
Double check to see if I have King 3 of spades. I do, so I'm going to call.
And that is not true. It calls.
Pretty loose float from Daniel. He must know Nano's game well.
You know, gentleman's game, you'd raise and tell me what you have now.
Gentleman's game?
Gentleman's game.
To the turn, 6 of spades, no help to either player. Daniel checks.
I
Gentleman's
just
game.
did tell you what I have.
And Lou checks.
King 3 of
That's true.
spades.
River's the queen of clubs. Now Daniel has a pair of queens.
Well, I'm obviously going to bet now because you checked the turn. Seems pretty standard. Got to bet something. So I'll bet, like, what will you call with... I got to figure out because you're a math guy, so 4, 5, 6... I got to bet 31 because you might call that with ace high.
No, I don't even have ace high, though.
Oh, you don't? So I had you beat on the flop anyway?
Daniel's
Okay,
bet will
cool.
win the pot.
Yeah, I did.
Wow, sick. I had 7-3 off suit.
Oh, you would have lost. King 3 of spades.
Really?
When I said it, I didn't even know if the King or 3 of spades was out there. I was just hoping I didn't screw myself.
So you didn't have it, Dan?
I did not have King 3 of spades.
That kind of hurts.
I did have you beat, though, at all times. Actually, what I did there was, it's called a soul read.
Soul read?
When you bet the flop, yeah. It was a little bit of a soul read. I called you with nothing, and then I hit a queen. That's what happened. And then I was like, sweet.
I mean, you're really tricking me. I can't tell if you're telling the truth or not.
I love playing them here. It's so much more fun.
Your percentage of telling the truth post hands is very high.
Oh, compared to yours?
Mine's like...
If we merged ours, we're at 100%.
Right.
Right? It's like we did your lie percentage, which is 97, and my truth percentage.
Yep.
We're identical.
It's true.
He's such a liar. Just random, too.
I can't
like,
help
he won't even
myself.
be in the pot. He folded under the gun. He's like, oh, if I would have played, I would have made a straight. Like, no, you wouldn't.
I'm in a casino.
He lies for no reason.
Bryn Kenny with pocket jacks.
Holding in what's the...
Raises to 1,400.
Is that 14?
Ace 5 for Lou. Folds. 8-5 for Solomon, and he's out. The cannon. Daniel's favorite hand. Folds it on the button.
Are you hungry? No, just ate, and I'm starving. I don't know, just instinctive.
Daniel's out.
People do that, right?
Ace Jack for Phil Locke.
Pretty solid hand.
Kid, I give you action. No problem. No problem. I got a real hand. I have to call.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Lock in Kenny to the flop. 7-4-8, 2 spades.
35.
And Locke's betting out.
Another donk bet from Phil. Bryn's not likely to dislike that flop.
Kenny quickly calls.
Phil's trying to run over Bryn, too. He knows Bryn's not the loose cannon, right?
To the turn, Queen of Spades. Bryn Kenny's still best.
Check.
Lock checks.
Kenny's also picked up a spade draw. Kenny's on to something.
62.
Come on, kid.
That was like the most incredulous I've ever heard in my life.
And lock folds before the chips even hit the middle.
I think I was beaten.
Good chance.
Now that's how you play pocket jacks, Joe. No fear. We'll take a break while Bryn Kenny stacks chips. More big game after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game, where 24-year-old Canadian amateur Courtney G has been given $100,000 US to take her shot at becoming a poker pro.
I'm Courtney G. I'm from British Columbia, Canada, and I'm on the big game. I know that when people first see me, I seem like a little girl. I'm pretty and I'm small at the table and ooh, isn't she cute? But I want to prove that I know how to play poker and that I'm not just a little girl who's pretending to be a poker player at the table. I want to be a real poker player. I've basically given myself 2 years to make it playing poker. Poker is an opportunity for me to do that. It's an option for me. If I can make it in poker, if I can support myself playing a game that I love, it would be a dream come true for me. If poker doesn't work for me in 2 years, my stepdad did give me a wonderful opportunity. He manufactures telescope parts, and he asked me if I'd want to take over the company once he retires, and that's something I'm seriously considering, but I don't want to think about it too much right now. I'm gonna try to make it playing poker first. I'm Courtney G, and I'm on the big game.
Oh, and look at that, a perfect hair toss right on the music cue. So basically, if Courtney goes broke from playing poker, it will have her literally seeing stars.
Well, right now, our cannon is just above Orion's belt. She's up over $1,000. Action will start on the fast-acting Randy Lou.
14.
Raises to 1,400. Solomon's out.
Lou is playing very Lou-oo. Somebody get this kid a Game Boy before he gives it all away.
Action's folded around to Daniel Negreanu. 8-7 of spades.
Daniel's had Randy's number so far. Looks like he's going to make this call dominated.
And he does.
I'm going to play tight.
I like being in position.
And lock is out.
Because then you got to go first. I love it.
I got to go first.
Kenny calls.
Yes. It's okay for me.
Bryn's made a standard defend and is the favorite at the moment.
To the flop. Jack 7-6 rainbow, and Daniel pairs his 7. Kenny checks.
25.
C-bet.
I remember his C-bet percentage. What was it? 78%, so I guess I got a call.
Daniel calls.
At least he's got a pair this time.
Your check rate percentage is so low on flops in this spot, so I wasn't worried about you.
Yeah.
Kenny folds.
Not worried is right.
I think Daniel might be making some of these stats up.
You think? To the turn. Deuce of clubs.
Check.
Lou checks.
Lou slows down.
Yeah, let's check.
And Daniel checks.
Daniel not as sure what to do when Randy stops betting.
River. 4 of diamonds.
Check.
Lou checks.
All right, check's good.
Queen high.
No good.
Daniel takes it down.
Got pairs.
Nice hand.
Thank you, sir. Your C-bet percentage from online, I remember being very high. And your 3-bet percentage was 29%. Heads up. Do you remember that?
What does heads up? This is 6 max.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's still kind of short. But your C-bet's super high, so I'm going to call with pairs on flops, just so you know.
Really?
Yeah. You love that kind of talk. Isn't that sexy?
No.
C-bet percentage, check raise flop. Ooh, what's your PFR and your aggro factor?
Well, Amanda may not dig stats, but I do, and just for her, it's the little black cocktail dress of Poker Stats VPIP, which means voluntarily put in pot, and Randy Lou has played over half the hands dealt so far, while our 2 amateurs, Solomon and G, Courtney, not Tony, have been hesitant to mix things up.
Well, it's still early in the session. We'll keep checking in, see if this trend continues throughout the week. I'm thinking our cannon's just getting warmed up, Joe.
Well, for her sake, I hope you're right.
The cannon we had last time, the very first opportunity he straddled. He did on his own.
Don't make me feel
No,
bad.
I'm not saying. I'm just telling you, like, how he got to 155,000. He did so by coming in here and throwing lefts and rights and all kinds of stuff. So.
Daniel is referring to our leading loose cannon, Gonzalez Cannon. Yes, it's his real name, and story checks out. Still, I'm thinking Daniel's advice may be somewhat self-serving.
Now, this cannon has pocket queens.
I'll raise it.
You do that.
1,600.
Wow.
Raises to 1,600.
Kind of a big raise, especially since they're already likely to think she's a bit tight.
Actions folded to Lou with 2 10s.
I call.
Just a call from Lou. Deuce tray for Solomon. He folds.
Nanonico the Cannon.
The Canadian and the wannabe Canadian, right?
It's not hard to be Canadian. You're automatically a citizen if you know how to skate backwards.
7 ace 6.
Check.
This ace may scare the beje out of Courtney with 2 queens.
2,500.
She makes it 2,500.
That's a little more than half the pot.
Call.
And Lou calls.
Quick call. Randy not believing the amateur.
Turns the king of spades.
Check.
Lou checks.
That's another annoying card for 2 queens.
I'll check.
And she is annoyed.
Check behind is fine here, but you have to be prepared to call a bet on the river.
Deuce of spades.
Check.
I have queens.
Queens are good.
Oh.
Oh. He says, oh, okay. Well, I will commend you on one thing. You're super fast online, and you're keeping up live, too.
Oh.
So many of the guys that play like 30 tables, they come in here and they're like...
4 hours per move.
I don't know why they're picking on internet kids. Phil Hellmuth has cost this show more money in overtime than the price of his buy-in.
The action will start on Daniel Negreanu. Deuce tray. Folds. Phil lock. You can't spell lock without AK. Big slick. Raises to 1,400. King 10 for Bryn Kenny. He makes the call. Randy Lou, 8-6 offsuit. He'll pass. Over to Rick Solomon. Queen 4 of diamonds.
I pot.
Well, Rick Solomon just showed up.
Raises the pot. 10-9. And G will fold. Action back over to Phil lock.
Phil's played a lot with Rick, and even if he didn't, I don't think he'd be laying down ace-king to a 3-bet.
52 more. I can't help myself. It's the Muffin Man. I gotta see the flop.
And lock calls 5,200. Folds.
I have position, sir.
Yes, you do.
That's good for me. But the fact that your hand is better than mine, that's bad for me.
I bet Phil Lock could beat a polygraph.
Unabomber and Muffin Man to the flop. 9 Jack 6. Both players missed. Lock's still ahead.
Solomon whiffed pretty huge. Let's see if he can continue this flop.
Check.
Checks it.
Rick's giving up the lead.
64.
And Lock bets out 6,400.
If I can find it.
See ya, Rick. Rick. It doesn't look like he's folding.
Calls.
Muffin!
Rick just floated the pants off this flop, and you'd think his friend Phil Lock would tell him that his hat's on crooked.
4 of clubs on the turn, and Solomon's made a pair and checks it.
Solomon gets there on the turn, pretty sick.
Check.
And Lock checks. To the river, deuce of diamonds.
10-2.
Solomon bets 10,200.
Rick's made a value bet with 4th pair so thin, Kate Moss tried to give it a sandwich.
I feel like you have some 2-pair gross 9 deuce hand or something like that, which beats me. Or queen 10, and you think I won't call.
That's the benefit of a rep. You can get absurd value when someone feels like being a hero. Is Phil Lock a hero?
Oh, kid. I fold.
Oh, Phil Lock's folding pairs? What in the world is happening?
Watch him as he
Folding
goes.
Pairs, for real? It's too late. You can't change your mind now. You said fold.
I know it hurts, though.
Solomon wins a pot worth 38,600.
I just think he's beating me. I think he has 9 deuce or
9 deuce?
something
It's
weird.
interesting to put a guy on 9 deuce.
I had something funky.
He had a funky thing. I know how he thinks, yo.
Really funky. Officially renaming Queen 4 the George Clinton, Joe. You with me?
I could get down with some P-Funk.
Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game, where high-stakes Hollywood home game hero and producer Rick Solomon has taken his game from the red carpet to the green felt. Lights, camera, action.
Hey, I'm Rick Solomon, and I'm from Hollywood, California, and I'm here to take down the big game. I think I got a target on my back more than the cannon. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they know I'm going to mix it up a lot, so they're very excited to play with me. They know I'm a lot of action. I mean, I play with Phil a lot. I've only seen Daniel play. I don't think I've played with him in tournaments, but never live too much. My strategy today is I haven't really played a lot of pot limit pre-flop, so that works a little bit against me, but I'm going to see a lot of flops and hopefully get lucky.
The target on Rick's back is bigger than the cannon's because she's only got one bullet and he's got a whole bandolero full of cash.
And he's up over $7,000 already.
Randy Nanonoko Lou has also shown up with plenty of cash, but he's already stuck.
How did you come up with the name Nano? I can't even say it. Nanonoko? Nanonoko?
It's like small kid, because I'm pretty skinny, if you can tell.
Small kid, that's what it means?
Pretty much, my interpretation at least.
In what language?
Japanese.
So Nanonoko. Oh, so Nano is like small and Noko is kid?
Something like that, yeah, pretty close. Yeah, nano as in, I take that off American, metric.
Oh, right.
It just means I'm small. It means
You're
I'm
a small kid.
Yeah.
Small kid who play many hands.
Play many hands.
Solomon's put out a sleeper straddle, which means it'll be live if no one raises before it gets to him.
How many hands did you play last year?
Kenny folds.
I don't know, 7 digits?
What is that, 10 million? I don't know how many digits is 7.
7's a million at least.
So how many million did you play? 1 million?
Luke folds.
I don't know, to be honest. I would say that's a good guess, though.
I don't think I did a million of anything last year.
Solomon straddles now live. He'll be last to act.
If you had to bet, if you played more hands than Dole Brunson in your life, would you bet? You have or haven't?
If I had a bet?
Yeah.
I think that's a yes.
By a lot?
Sure.
You got him crushed by like a lot. That's crazy. Dole's been playing for 50 years. And you've played like way more hands than him.
4 or 5 years, yeah.
Wow.
I'm like you, Muffin. I'm just gonna call, because I need to know the future. I can't see it if I don't put the money in.
All right, we're gonna check.
So Phil was the only one to call the bet, and Solomon checks his option.
He's out of position, so it checks fine.
To the flop. King Ace-3 Rainbow. Phil checks his pair.
Check.
And Solomon checks his gut shot. Deuce of clubs on the turn. Lock checks.
Check.
And Solomon checks. River's a queen, and Solomon makes Broadway. Lock checks.
I bet pot.
Rick tries to bet pot.
You bet pot? What is with you people? Pick a number and bet
Pick a number, kid.
Gotta count it yourself after the flop.
Decides on 3,500 and is called quickly.
He's got a straight. He's gonna win it.
Solomon takes it down.
I guess I missed a bet.
He owns you so far. Looks like.
I would call you would have lost the money. I had a feeling it was coming. I had a feeling.
I'm cooking up a brand new I had a feeling stat for season 3. I guess that's why they call it a gut shot. And right now my gut is telling me that Rick's straddling again and that I'm starving.
Action on the cannon. 9-7.
Courtney probably not caring for this straddle nonsense one bit.
She lets it go. 7-6 suited for Daniel.
Daniel, on the other hand, probably loving the straddle.
Raises to 3,600. Phil quickly out, as is Bryn Kenny. Deuce-9 for Nanonoko. Quick fold. Back to Rick Solomon. Ace-10.
He certainly can't fold this.
I pot.
Bets the pot to 12,000.
$12 total, right? Yeah, I can't see. Did you buy for 1 or 200?
Just 100.
Oh, okay.
Daniel's in position with a hand that could snap a bigger one, and oh yeah, he hates to fold.
This could be a fun one. Who knows, right?
Fun and expensive. He makes the call.
We can dance. You can dance if you wanna.
There's only one man without a hat in this hand.
Queen 10 King, 2 diamonds. And Solomon's made bottom pair.
You don't remember? Seriously?
Gut shot to go with it.
Rick's got a lot going on there. Bottom pair, gut shot, backdoor diamonds.
I pretty much did remember. I'm just confirming before I do something stupid. Check.
He checks it.
I like Rick's check. It isn't a great spot to bet since only better hands will call you. In Daniel's case, he doesn't want to be called, so he can bet.
And does 12,200.
Rick's got a pair and a gut shot to the nuts. Not something we see folded very often.
You'd be right. He makes the call.
See if that call shuts Daniel down.
To the turn. 5 of clubs. Rick still best, but checks it.
5 of clubs might have done Daniel some good on the flop. Not here, though. Will he fire again?
All right.
Nope.
Daniel may have shut it down.
River. Another king.
Check.
Solomon checks.
Daniel can only win this with a bluff, and who knows what amount it would take to get Rick to fold.
And Daniel gives up.
Got a 10.
That's going to win all the money. Nice hand.
Solomon wins a pot worth over 49K.
Muffin owning us.
I had so many plans, but the turn and river didn't help. Turn and river were not helpful.
More helpful than a jack would have been.
Rick Solomon making all the right moves so far tonight, and there's plenty more action when we return from Vegas, right here on The Big Game.
Live poker is definitely way slower. I play 24 online, so one here and live poker, which is much slower. It's like snail. Daniel Negreanu is going to be on The Big Game today, so I'm really excited. I have a lot of experience against him. I played 2,500 hands of heads up with him just not too long ago. I have a very strong grasp of how he plays, so I'm just going to call him down.
To see more behind-the-scenes interviews, all this game's stats, unaired hands, and material deemed too hot for TV, visit us online.
Randy Lou said his strategy against Daniel will be to call him down. Then my question is, what strategy will Daniel have to use? The guy calls more than a needy girlfriend.
And the action will start on the needy girlfriend, who's earned his own jewelry, 4 World Series of Poker bracelets for Daniel. King 9 for Negreanu. Folds. Locks out. Bryn Kenny. 10 deuce to Doyle Brunson. Raises to 1,400. Doyle Fernando Noco as well.
And it's suited. Looks like he's cooking something up here.
Race.
3 bets to 4,500.
I wonder how much money has been lost in history from people trying to goof off with this hand. Genius move on Doyle's part.
9-6 of diamonds for Solomon.
Hate folding.
He lets it go. The cannon. 4-6. Folds.
Bryn got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Let's see how he wants to handle it.
He hasn't folded yet. Looking at his chips. And reaching for some big ones. We've got 4 bets to 12,800.
Sick pre-flop bluff.
12-8.
And Lou lets it go.
Quickly.
Nice hand.
Kenny's going to win a pot without seeing a flop.
Nice.
Shows him.
Nice. Doyle Brunson is being paid only.
What happened? Did he 4-bet there?
No, yeah, he 4-betted.
He 4-bet? You don't like when people do that.
Yeah, you would have liked my hand on that one.
I would have liked it.
All of you guys would have liked it.
You were suited and all that?
I was suited.
Oh, my gosh.
Bryn Kenny 4 bets out of respect for one of the poker forefathers.
And he blinks last in that pot. Joe, it seems like everyone's done a little bit of scooping so far.
Right, you are, Scott. We've got a 4-way tie for top dog and total pots won. Lock is just slightly lagging at 14%, while our LC, Courtney G, seems to be hesitant to mix things up. Her rocky approach has her winning just a little over half as many pots as the 4 other players tied for first.
Her approach working. She's currently up over $4 grand.
It's early, so I'm going to give Courtney the benefit of the doubt. She may just be establishing a tight table image to pull off some sick bluffs later.
Well, we shall see. On this hand, action will start on Phil Lock with Doyle. He lets it go. Bryn Kenny folds. 10-8 for Lou.
14.
Is he asking us or telling us?
Telling.
Races to 1,400. Solomon, Trey Deuce.
Suited.
Calls. King 5 for the cannon. Folds. Negreanu, King 10 of diamonds. Calls 1,000.
You nervous?
He's
I'm
got
gonna be.
plenty of money. Plenty. Filthy, dirty rich.
Randy Lou doesn't typically play this big, and despite the fact that he's getting no respect at all, I respect his hustle.
9-4-4 on the flop. 2 hearts. Daniel checks.
28.
I feel like he's looking for an answer here, Joe.
Yes, the bet is 28. Lou's trying to maintain control of this pot, even if he doesn't seem that confident.
Solomon's out, and it's back on Daniel.
We've not seen Daniel fold to a C bet from Randy yet.
He's not going to start now. He calls.
Daniel floats him again.
Have you folded to me yet? Just curious.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
So far, I've been running pretty good against you.
To the turn, Ace of Hearts. Daniel checks.
Even if Daniel has some kind of read on Randy, he's still out of position.
7.
Yeah, good news. Good news, my friend.
That's 7,000.
Very good news. I'm going to fold to you.
Cool.
I didn't have an ace. Pocket queens.
I don't believe you on pocket queens.
2 black queens.
2 black queens?
Yeah, that was a lie.
That was a lie. You would re-raise that for sure.
But then if you tell them, it's not really fair. It's not really a lie.
Right. You got to maintain.
I can't do it. I'm not good at lying.
So Lou finally gets Daniel to fold to one of his bets and scoops the pot.
It doesn't feel like lying at a poker table, though. It feels like the right thing.
Just call it bluffing. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Phil. We got more big hands on the way on the big game after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Huff, and this is the big game. Action is on 25-year-old phenom Randy Lou, one of the fastest players in the world. He is not disappointed. He's been in it to win it tonight. Ace-10.
14.
Makes it 1,400.
Make it 14, says the raising machine.
And he don't work for nobody but Lou. Action folds to the cannon. Deuce. 10 of spades.
You don't want to know.
Folds it. Daniel Negreanu. King-7, he passes, as does Phil Locke. Action on Bryn Kenny with pocket 9s. For as good as he is at 6 max cash, he's got 6-handed tourney results that are great as well.
Randy's a little worse than a coin flip with Courtney folding one of his 10s.
5-8 ace, and Lou's made a pair of aces. Kenny checks.
21.
Lou quickly bets 2,100.
Love this kid. He's fast. No worries. Pow, pow.
Bryn is fast, too.
Kenny calls 2,100.
Lou's been firing a ton, so this is a fair call with 2 9s.
3 of clubs on the turn. Kenny checks.
61.
And Lou never stops betting. 6,100.
This is a good move from Randy. Bryn's seen him firing without much for most of the session.
Kenny's got 99 problems, and an ace is 1. He folds.
He wins the money, though. The kid wins the money. You know?
So Lou keeps firing and takes down that pot to put a dent in his losses. He's now down only about 8 dimes, Joe.
The fastest clicker in the world is shooting first and asking questions later. He's 3-betting the opening raiser a quarter of the time, playing over half the hands dealt, and his post-flop aggro factor is off the charts at 8.0. Wowie kazowie.
Lou is fun to watch play, but it's nothing compared to the fun we're about to have playing along with the couch cannon hand, where we all get to experience what it's like under the gun and in the hot seat from the eyes of our loose cannon.
Now's when I have to put my money where my mouth is.
Not to nitpick, Joe, but aren't you still just putting your mouth where your mouth is?
All right, come on, we're missing the action.
Courtney G with pocket 9s.
Obviously, this is a raise.
I'll raise it.
Okay, I said we weren't going to clash, but I think we're going to clash because I got a good hand.
1,600.
That raise is a little big.
Negreanu calls.
Daniel's usually pretty honest, so I believe him so far. It all just depends on what his definition of good is. Maybe not that good, or he would have re-raised. Courtney, very interested in what's going on here.
6,000.
3 bets. Randy Lou makes it 6,000, and Solomon's out of the way.
Well, Lou's put the squeeze on, probably to isolate the cannon. It's just a matter of whether or not he has a real hand this time. Randy could easily be doing this with something worse than 2 9s, but even if not, Courtney should call on the off chance she could hit a set. You know, you really can't be folding big pocket pairs with only 150 hands to play.
But she does.
All right, well, now this is interesting.
I know you're coming in. Hurry up.
You know it, right? You raised anyway. What is that all about?
What was that?
You knew I was calling, but you raised anyway.
You're reading too much into it, man.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to level myself here. I just want to try to flop a set, hit a set, and get it in. Can we do that? Huh?
You have a pair, dude.
Well, if I'm trying to flop a set, what do you think I started with?
So we're heads up to the flop, and we don't know anyone's cards. Trey, deuce, jack.
Randy's got the lead.
8,000.
Lou bets 8,000.
Well, that was pretty obvious. Lou's been firing every flop, whether he has it or not.
It's an interesting situation, okay? Because I have 3 3s right now. You don't believe that?
I don't know.
I
believe a lot of people. I believe a lot of people.
So the best way to play this against you, based on previous hands, is to call, raise river, I think. Okay? So that's plan A. I might change my mind, but plan A is call, ship river.
All right.
That's plan A. You like that? I'm just going to tell him, whatever.
I'm a little worried.
So the mystery continues, 7 on the turn.
It's such heart to tell your opponent what you're doing and doing it, you know?
What are you going to do now?
Does Lou want to keep the lead?
20,000.
Lou bets 20,000.
Lou's got Daniel's attention. Let's see if he sticks to his plan of call ship.
He doesn't believe me. I seriously say I'm going to do that, and he doesn't care. Oh, gosh.
Everyone lies, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Word on the street.
So is plan A still the plan? I'd like to defer.
You gotta respect internet guys that chat during hands. That's a very rare thing, and to that, hats off. He's chatted in the middle. If somebody's dialoguing with him, he just opens the door and goes there.
Oh.
Even I don't do that. I try not to,
So it's
but
a
I do
mistake?
it.
Is that a mistake? Thanks for the...
I'm leveling myself too much. I call.
Daniel calls.
If I keep thinking, I'm going to screw up really bad.
This is awesome. I'm still sticking to the plan.
River, ace of clubs.
The only draw on the flop, which was 4-5, just came in. Daniel's taking a pretty passive line on this hand, and in the past, when Nanos had nothing, he slowed down by now. So if he's gearing up for another bet, my guess is he may have the best hand.
Daniel intently watching Lou as he stacks chips. And it looks like it's going to be a really big bet.
I'm now worried that you just made 3 aces. How much does he have? How much did he bet?
Fired 47,800.
I told you I have 3 threes and you just don't care, or you have that beat, right?
Well, if I talk too much, I might let you know what I have.
Bro, the thing is, when you talk, you might get the other result. You might get wins that you shouldn't have got, etc. You know?
That's true.
It's not all.
How light is Daniel thinking of calling this time?
What's he got left? Let's see. I can't see. Just lift your hand. That's good. It really smells like aces.
Does that mean Daniel was already beating a pair of aces?
Pocket aces? What's the difference? I can't fold anyway.
Calls.
Queens.
Turn to set.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Nice hand.
Daniel's read wasn't far off. It was an overpair till the river. And Courtney G's fold makes her look like a genius.
Daniel Negreanu comes up big on the turn there, takes down the biggest pot of the night, and that's going to put him at the top of our leaderboard. Kid Poker is now up over 68 grand.
Followed by Hollywood home game legend Rick Solomon, who's up over 26K, while both Kenny and our Cannon are up about 2 grand.
Locke is down 9 grand, while Randy Lou, the fastest player in the world, has quickly dropped $90,000.
All right, guys, that's it for the night. Courtney, how are you feeling? You more calm?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun now.
No more jitters, right?
No more jitters.
You're one up on your buddy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is so much different. I usually play with him online. We screw around there, and he beats me, but this is my territory right here, the big game.
I like him better than you.
I know that. Yeah, that's obvious.
All right, guys, that's it for the night. I'm Amanda Leatherman saying goodbye for now. And remember, if you've got the cash and the guts, there's always a seat open at the big game. Good night, everybody.
For Stapes, this is Huff. We'll see you next time on the big game.
He took it like a champ. He doesn't even care.
He is a champ.
He's got $100 million from poker. This is a little.
He plays like 5 million hands a year. This
I know.
is just one of the 5
He's just like,
million.
nah. Phil, are you going to stop needling him ever?
I wasn't needling him. I'm just
You are.
encouraging him to play pots with me. Muffin, do you feel like I'm needling you? No.
You don't seem to be afraid to mix it up,
She said I was needling you.
right?
I mean, I gamble a little bit.
The preceding program was sponsored by PokerStars.net.